Hi, it's Joe. Welcome to the Quilt Stitch Report. I learned a long time ago how to hand quilt. It was the first thing that I learned how to do in 1979 when I first started quilting. I learned hand quilting. And at that time, the idea was to make tiny little stitches. It was very old-fashioned. I learned from old ladies how to make tinier and tinier stitches all the time. And it involves a frame. I'm not using a frame, I'm just using a hoop today, and a thimble and a needle. So what I have done is I've set this up so that I can quilt and you can see both the top and the bottom, because I'm going to be working right at the edge. All right, so let me get situated here and I'll show you. The main thing is that you don't rock the needle straight up and down. You only rock it a little bit. And it's a process of hunting for the needle with this thumb and then with this thumb underneath. Thumb on top, thumb underneath. Thumb on top, thumb underneath. All right? That's what I'm going to be showing you. So here we go. So as you can see, I stand the needle up on my underneath finger, let go of it, and then handle it only with the thimble from there on out. I rock the thimble up and down a little bit while feeling for it with my thumb. You don't put the needle straight up and down. You only rock it a little bit. Feel for it with your thumb underneath. Feel for it with your thumb on top. That's the way I do it. One more time. I stand the needle up on my underneath finger, roll it with the thimble, and then feel for it with your thumb. Feel for it with your upper thumb, your lower thumb, your upper thumb, your lower thumb. You can use any finger to feel for it. Once you're comfortable with the thimble, and you have a thimble that has dimples on the side of it like this, then you can learn to quilt away from yourself the way I learned from watching some Amish quilters, in fact. At one point, I learned how to quilt away from myself using the side of the needle. This time, instead of your thumb's going to be pushing it, so you're going to be feeling for it with your ring finger. Feeling for that point of the needle, and then you'll be feeling for it with the underneath finger. Ring finger, underneath finger. Okay? Here we go. So I start out just like before, standing the needle up, but then I use the side of the thimble. This little hoop is so unstable, it causes me a little trouble here. But I'm using the side of the thimble to manipulate the needle. I feel for it with my upper finger, and then I feel for it with my lower finger. Here, let's try that again, and I think you can see it a little bit better. Stand it up, use the side of the thimble, and then feel for it with that upper finger, the lower finger, upper finger, lower finger, upper finger, lower finger, using my thumb as a fulcrum, you can see. Okay? Upper finger, lower finger, use the side of the thimble. Takes a minute to get used to. So there's a lot more to it than just the stitch. There's ways of starting and stopping and all of that. But the old-fashioned quilting stitch, where you make tiny little stitches so you can do fancy designs like this. Some of these are big, some of these are small. This is my little demo piece lately. This is called the rocking stitch, and this is the way I do it. There's lots of ways of doing it, but this is the way I learned. All right, thanks for checking in. See you next time.